Madison is getting a new mayor, and there could be a recount in the race for Supreme Court. What you need to know about campaign 2019.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
And thanks for joining us. Voter turnout was up for this year's spring election.
More than 26% of Wisconsin adults voted, making it the second highest turnout in a nonpartisan election since 2000. We have team coverage of yesterday's results, including a tight Supreme Court race where a recount is possible. We start with Rose Schmidt, who has been covering this race for weeks now. Rose?
Yes, well, liberal Judge Lisa Neubauer is staying tight-lipped on whether she'll request a recount or if she'll concede to her conservative opponent, Judge Brian Hagedorn. Hagedorn has declared himself the winner in this race, but it seems that Neubauer isn't giving up just yet. Judge Brian Hagedorn is calling his nearly 6,000 vote lead a win not just for him, but for the entire state.
We made history. We made history in a significant way, and our margin of victory looks to be insurmountable. Been incredibly humbled by the support that we've received all across the state of Wisconsin.
But the election results are catapulting his opponent, Judge Lisa Neubauer, into action, asking for donations and volunteers to ensure accurate election results.
We need to make sure that every last vote is counted, and that's going to take a little time.
Neubauer posted this video to Facebook thanking those who've supported her campaign. And though she did not mention whether she'll request a recount, county clerks are already preparing in the event of one.
So the next few days, as it goes through canvass, there could be something that is discovered. It's unlikely.
Dane County Clerk Scott McDonald says clerks will go through the unofficial results in the next week, and if a recount is requested, the numbers would likely change slightly in Dane County.
They're always a little bit different. You know, there'll be provisional ballots that come in. There could have been slight errors that occurred on election night, but we're really talking, 20, 30, 40, 50, in a large county like this, and in smaller counties it would be much less.
The last time Wisconsin had a recount was in 2016, but that was for a presidential race with 3 million votes, and only about 800 votes were changed statewide. So in this race, where only 1.2 million votes came in, could a recount shift the winner and put Neubauer in the lead? McDonald says don't count on it.
It was extremely unlikely for the numbers to change a lot.
Once the official election results are in next week, the losing candidate has 3 days to request a recount. The last time a recount happened in Wisconsin was in 2016 for the presidential race, and it cost more than $2 million and was funded by Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein. But a better comparison to this race would likely be the last time there was a recount for a Supreme Court race, which was in 2011. That recount cost Wisconsin counties more than $500,000.
All right, Rose, thank you. Madison's mayor-elect is talking about her transition into office. Satya Rhodes Conway beat current mayor Paul Soglin with a commanding 62% of the vote. Today, she met with reporters to talk about her plans for her time in office. Rhodes Conway says she is working to get a team in place. That includes a deputy mayor and city committee members. She and Mayor Soglin also met earlier today.
And what did the two of you talk about?
We talked about a number of things. He was very gracious, and he is just facilitating a very smooth transition. We met with a number of different department and division heads, and the mayor and I went over a short list of things that he wanted to make sure that I knew about right away. There's a lot to do there. There's a lot of relationships to make sure that we build, and we'll be focused on that.
You've had a busy 12 hours.
Yes. Yeah, and I should probably apologize to all the people who are blowing up my phone with text messages because I haven't gotten back to any of them yet.
Community leaders weighing in on the change of leadership today. Our Keely Arthur spoke with some of them, and she joins us now to tell us more about their reaction. Keely?
Well, I was over at the city-county building today, and you can certainly sense that there's change, excitement, maybe a little apprehension in the air. Well, certainly not from Dane County Executive Joe Parisi, who endorsed Satya Rhodes Conway. Parisi says the two share a lot of priorities, and she has a very collaborative leadership style. Parisi and current Mayor Paul Soglin were pretty public in their disagreements. The county executive says he's looking forward to tackling environmental issues with the city's new leader.
We're doing our work on the county level to do things to reduce runoff into the lakes. We believe there's a lot of opportunity within the city and within other cities and villages to partner with us to do more of that work. And she has a great knowledge base in that area and a great passion for that.
We also spoke with Madison's Chief of Police, Mike Koval. Koval did not endorse either candidate. He tells News 3 he hopes Rhodes Conway looks at the data and finds a way to make space in the budget for more officers. Rhodes Conway says she wants to add more addiction and mental health services rather than officers to the city.
Keely, thank you. Nearly $60 million are on its way to the school district of Milton after voters said yes to a referendum. The time leading up to the vote, however, was contentious, and several people spoke out against the plan. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter spoke to both sides and joins us from our bureau with what's next. Adam?
Well, Charlotte, the weeks leading up to Milton's April referendum election certainly were contentious, but now the vote has passed and the time for debating is over. But both sides agree it's time to look forward and move on. It's lunchtime at Milton High School, and the cafeteria is crowded with students. For years, the lunchroom is one place administrators, teachers, and students have seen a lack of space. Same with the hallways and the classrooms.
This has been 12 plus years of looking at how to address facility needs within the district.
And after 2 previous tries, yesterday the district says they finally got the help they needed in the form of a $59.9 million referendum approved by voters.
Excited for the students, excited for the community. A wonderful showing of people that came out.
The $59 million will touch all 6 buildings in the district, with some seeing upgrades to security and ADA accessibility, with others, like the high school, seeing upgrades like a new swimming pool and a performing arts center renovation.
That's a lot of money to do a lot of wonderful things for kids, and we're really excited about the journey that this next phase will bring.
In the weeks leading up to the vote, concerns about transparency within the district began to arise, centered around 3 separate stipends given to administrators, including Shiger. Jim Naughton expressed his opposition to Tuesday's vote with a roadside sign. He says now the referendum is passed, his main concern is knowing the district will follow through.
I would like to see a hit list, whatever you want to call it, a spreadsheet, I don't care if it's 4,000 items long, of every item that they're going to repair, everything that they're going to touch, and the cost.
Shiger says it's time to look forward to the future.
There have been other distractions out there, absolutely. But we've kept them in their proper perspective. I'm hoping that people will, in the community, will come together and see this as a wonderful opportunity to make the investment that the community has asked us to make.
Shiger says the next steps for the district include meeting with developers to determine what the best plan is moving forward for some of these changes. He said that this referendum could eventually lead to people choosing to move to Milton long term.
We'll be sure to follow those next steps. Adam, thank you.
If you've ever wondered what happens when a polling place runs out of ballots, look no further than the town of Exeter yesterday. The town ran out while they waited for new ones. They used photocopies or provisional versions of the official ballots. Wisconsin Elections Commission says this is the official procedure, but the Greene County Clerk says the situation could have been avoided.
I think the one lesson that they could learn is that they probably need to keep a close eye on the ballots that are not unused ballots and think, oh, am I going to run out? If they're going to run out, they probably need to let the county clerk know earlier that they need more ballots.
And Exeter was one of 8 Greene County townships that needed to print more ballots. However, Exeter is the only one that actually ran out at any one point.
Gary joins us after the break with a quick check of your first alert forecast.
And a missing child, last seen in Wisconsin years ago, may have been spotted near Cincinnati. The FBI now getting involved. We'll have an update after the break.
Well, today started off sunny, but we have a chance for rain tonight.
Let's check your first alert forecast now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi. Gary?
Well, the skies are clouding up, and after temperatures reach the mid to upper 50s today, probably be about 10 degrees cooler tomorrow thanks to the clouds and showers. Visible cloud track shows the clouds streaming in from Iowa, southern Minnesota, and western Illinois. And as we look at high-resolution Doppler, you can see that there are just a few light rain showers, mainly to our southwest across parts of Iowa. These showers are not moving very quickly in our direction, but it is possible that we could get a few sprinkles of rain from them. Later on tonight, it's possible that there could be a couple of flurries of snow mixed in as well. Temperatures will drop to the middle 30s by early tomorrow morning, and high temperatures tomorrow about 10 degrees cooler, around 47 degrees. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Thank you. The FBI is now helping with the missing child's case with ties to Wisconsin. Detectives from Aurora, Illinois are now heading to Cincinnati to check into reports of a boy found wandering nearby in Kentucky. The boy claims to be 14-year-old Timothy Pitson, who's been missing for nearly 8 years, since 2011. He was taken to a hospital in Ohio. DNA test results will take about 24 hours to get back. Pitson was last seen at the Kalahari in the Dells when he was just 6 with his mother. His mother, later found dead, ruled a suicide at a Rockford hotel. She left a note indicating that Timothy was fine and that she had left him in the care of unnamed people. Aurora police say they are being cautious about these reports since there have been several false sightings of the missing boy since his disappearance.
A Madison man accused of persuading a teenager from Tennessee to record a rape, then bringing her to Wisconsin, faces more federal charges. 31-year-old Brian Rogers was charged in February with buying or selling child pornography and making false statements related to the case. Today, he was indicted on additional charges of transporting a minor in interstate commerce with the intent that the minor engage in sexual activity, which would be a criminal offense under Wisconsin law, and sexual assault of a child. Rogers has been in custody since his arrest in January. Police say a teen missing from Tennessee was found safe in Madison this winter. Rogers heads to trial in July.
It is unclear how much damage was done during a fire in Oregon this morning. Firefighters were called to a home on Oregon Parks Avenue. This is about 11 this morning. They say someone was making brisket and put their leftover burning materials into a plastic container, which then caught fire. Most of the damage was contained to the garage. No one was hurt. Behind the scenes tours will begin at Milwaukee's Fiserv Forum in a couple of weeks. Those tours, 90 minutes long, give fans a chance to learn more about the history of the Milwaukee Bucks. The tour will also show off areas of the new arena like the floor of the Bull, the Bucks locker room, the interview room. Tickets are $15 for adults, $12 for kids. The first public tour is April 19th. Next on News 3 Now at 6, find out why the zoo may be the place to be this month.
And there's another chance for rain tomorrow. Gary has your details in his first alert forecast.
The Henry Vilas Zoo is offering 2 family-friendly activities in April.
Kids Day takes place on April 6th. It features a noon talk about polar bears, free carousel rides, and free ice cream and hot dogs for kids under 12. Train rides will be free every weekend in April in honor of Earth Month, and the zoo is planning to party for the planet on April 27th. Party for the Planet will have seedling giveaways, tree climbs, games, a solar presentation by Madison Gas and Electric, electric vehicles, and other educational displays. The world's largest Bratfest plans to work with MG&E to use wind and solar power. The initiative will offset Bratfest's carbon emissions from the electricity used to power the festival with green power instead. Last year, Bratfest reduced overall waste and converted 55% of all waste through recycling and composting. In addition to using renewable energy, Bratfest will have several electric vehicles for attendees to check out and learn more about the benefits of going electric. Bratfest runs during Memorial Day weekend.
And in preparation of severe weather season, today is known as Safe Place Selfie Day across the country, and people are encouraged to take a picture in the place where they would seek shelter during a tornado. Our News 3 Now weather team did just that, taking a selfie. One of our conference rooms, which is an interior room with no windows. There you see Dana and Dave and Gary hiding back there as well. Tornado and Severe Weather Awareness Week starts on Monday, and you know that's kind of a fun picture there, but Gary, you gonna come out from under the
Where's Gary?
And here, this would probably be about the safest place.
We make light of this, of course, but this is something you take very seriously.
Yes, because now's the time to practice and figure out where your safe place is. Don't wait until the storm is coming down the street and then try to make the best of a couple of bad choices. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. No severe weather in the forecast, but we do have some rain on the way on the visible cloud track. The clouds are streaming in from the west. There's actually some severe weather as part of this weather system, but back down into Texas and Oklahoma. The northern edge of it just bringing some light showers into Iowa. Eventually they'll reach southern Wisconsin, and temperatures may be cold enough north of Madison to have a few flurries of snow mix in with the rain. But the time lapse on the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville shows a beautiful sunrise, and then you can see those high clouds starting to stream in from the south and west. This view looking off toward the east. And now skies have really clouded up across southwestern Wisconsin. The live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville shows mostly cloudy skies now. And as we check out the live view from the WISC Skycam, this is also looking toward the east, also seeing mostly cloudy skies now over most of southern Wisconsin. The Edgewater Skycam looking back toward the south and east shows cloudy skies over the state capital. As we check out the almanac for today, though, our high temperature made it up to 57 degrees, 5 degrees above normal. Low temperature of 28, just a tad below normal. But right now we're at 55 with mostly cloudy skies. The air very dry, the humidity at 25%. So those first showers will have a hard time reaching the ground until the atmosphere moistens up a bit. Winds right now out of the west-northwest at 6 miles per hour. Temperatures are in the 30s up in northern Minnesota and far northern Wisconsin into parts of the UP of Michigan, but in the mid-50s here to the west where the showers have started, they're in the 40s, and that's what we'll have to look forward to for tomorrow. As I mentioned, this weather system bringing a little bit of severe weather, some severe thunderstorms over parts of the Texas Panhandle into western Oklahoma, but the northern fringes of it primarily in the form of just some light rain showers, and then eventually this will mix with snow as temperatures turn a little colder. To the south of this warm front, temperatures are approaching 70 degrees over southern portions of Kansas and Springfield, Missouri right now at 70 degrees. We're still pretty mild here, but that really warm air just stays to our south. The main weather system moves almost due east, so that cuts off the warm air down to the south, but that also brings the potential for some severe weather or stronger thunderstorms farther to the south. We might see just a little mixture of rain and snow north of Madison, and then eventually that moves out tomorrow night. And on Friday, we're back to some sunshine, and temperatures will rebound back into around 60 on Friday and probably be in the mid to upper 60s for the weekend. Our forecast for tonight calls for skies to be mostly cloudy. We'll see some rain showers developing. Again, there's a possibility some flurries of snow could mix in north and west of Madison toward morning. Not looking for anything to stick to the ground because the low temperature will be at 35 degrees. For tomorrow, another cloudy day, but it'll be windy and cooler with high temperature of about 47 degrees. And again, the possibility for some showers mixed with a little snow north and west of Madison early in the morning. On future track, the clouds will lead to showers later on tonight. Again, that mix of rain and snow will probably be north of Madison if it occurs at all. Off and on showers through the day tomorrow, ending tomorrow night, and then as we head into Friday, notice the sky starting to clear and watch how quickly those temperatures jump back up to around 60 degrees. And as we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast after the rainfall outlook, about 1/10 of an inch for most areas, maybe 1/4 of an inch down toward far southwestern Wisconsin. But temperatures upper 60s for the weekend, some thunderstorm chances on Sunday, a little cooler for next week with a brief cool down on Thursday, some showers there, otherwise some sunshine after that.
The Brewers scored only one run today, but it was enough thanks to Freddie Peralta and Alex Wilson. The story's coming up in sports.
Hi, I'm Michelle Carolla. Tonight on the news at 9, you hear every vote counts during every election, but it's rare to actually see an example of this. We'll take you to McFarland, where the village president was decided by one vote. That's first on Fox at 9.
The first week of the Brewers season has looked a lot like the last month of last season. The Brewers went 19-7 in September to catch the Cubs and propel them into the playoffs. So far in the first week of 2019, Brewers are 6-1. An early start in Cincinnati this afternoon. Runs were hard to come by. Manny Pena gave Ronnie Grandal a break and drove in the only run of the game with his RBI single that scored Jesus Aguilar. 1-0 Brewers second inning. But the big story today is pitcher Freddie Peralta. He goes a career-high 8 innings, allowing just 2 hits and strikes out 11. The save goes to Alex Wilson as Josh Hader gets the day off. Final score, Brewers 1, Reds nothing. So the series sweep has the Brewers at 6-1. They're the only team in the Central Division right now that has a winning record. Yeah, we're just a week into the season, but the Brewers already have a 3-game lead on second place St. Louis. But keep in mind, the Brewers still have 155 games to play this season. We haven't heard much from Mike McCarthy since the Packers fired him during the season. Today, we found out McCarthy was pretty angry the way he was let go after an awful loss to Arizona last December. McCarthy told Rob Demoski of ESPN.com, the way the Packers let him go couldn't have been handled any worse. McCarthy says he didn't see it coming, and to do it losing a close game you probably should have won was the wrong time to do it. McCarthy says he got more than twice as many supportive texts after his firing than he did when the Packers won the Super Bowl in 2011. As far as his relationship with Aaron Rodgers, McCarthy says anytime you work closely with someone for 13 years, there's going to be some rough times. But McCarthy says he had a lot of fun coaching Rodgers, and McCarthy says his greatest accomplishments as Packers coach were with Aaron Rodgers. And McCarthy, at age 55, hopes he'll be a head coach again in the NFL next season. College basketball, former Marquette head coach Buzz Williams is leaving Virginia Tech to go home and become the head coach at Texas A&M, where he was an assistant from 2004 to 2006. Now, some suggest that would open the door for current Marquette coach Steve Wojciechowski to perhaps go to Virginia Tech, but right now, that's just interesting speculation. One of the most exciting players in college basketball is turning pro. Murray State's Ja Morant is the first-team All-American. He averaged 25 points, 10 assists, almost 6 rebounds a game last season. Morant had a triple-double in leading Murray State to a first-round upset of Marquette in the NCAA tournament. He could be picked as high as maybe second in the NBA draft. Remember last week when Giannis Antetokounmpo was in Stoughton signing autographs? Well, you might have seen the video of a young fan getting a jersey signed and giving Giannis a folder of pictures she drew of Giannis. Giannis was so impressed he had to give the 11-year-old Lily Stauffer of Wauwatosa a big hug to thank her. Stauffer said she had been drawing pictures of Giannis for a year, and getting a hug made her cry. She was so happy.
Just having him actually come up and give me a hug, I'm just like, this is what I always dreamed of, actually meeting my hero.
And Giannis and the Bucks continue their road trip at Philadelphia tomorrow night. You can be sure that an 11-year-old from Wauwatosa will be watching the game, keeping an eye on her favorite player. He seems like such a likable fellow.
Yeah, it's great when they're that good, but when they're good people as well.
Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, let's hope so. Final check of our forecast with Gary.
Watching some showers out to the west in Iowa, heading in our direction, but still take a little while before they reach us. The air near the ground pretty dry right now over southern Wisconsin. Temperatures are very mild, mid-50s right now. Look for temperatures to only be in the mid to upper 40s for tomorrow, thanks to the showers. It'll also be kind of windy as well. Then we'll be back to 60 on Friday and upper 60s for the weekend. Shower or thunderstorm chance on Sunday, ending on Monday. Then a little cooler for next week. Temperatures mainly in the 50s, although a brief blip in the temperatures on Thursday might bring us to the upper 40s.
All right, Gary, thank you. And thank you for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.